The newest program that eXp is coming out with is called co-sponsorship. And it really solves some problems with someone when they're joining a brokerage. Some people are like, yes, I want to join eXp, but I have two people that I like, John or Deborah. You love them both. They both are at eXp. They're lovely people, but they both bring different things to the table. So let's say you knew John, he and you go back the last 10 years. You've worked with him at another brokerage. He's just a great guy. But you also have Deborah, and Deborah started giving out websites for all the agents. And it's a really cool program for you to leverage, like all of these new websites that she gives to all the agents underneath them and be able to take their business to the next level. So typically at eXp, you'd have to choose between either John or Deborah. And so you're like, well, gosh, I'm having trouble deciding, but I really want to take my business to the next level. So co-sponsorship allows you to pick both people. So instead of dividing the revenue share between the two and splitting them in half, it's an even better program where both of them get revenue share and both of them get the benefit of having that sponsee join the company. Let's say I have John. He's my buddy. We've been friends forever. And John lives in Virginia now, and I live in Florida. I want to join eXp, but I feel like I can't be as supported with John. So let's say Deborah lives in Tampa. So she would be a better support person because she would be able to be closer to me and all of that. So that's another thing that they're like, I want part of my sponsorship to go to someone who lives near me. And then someone else might bring a different value to the table, like some kind of, websites or some different social media support. So that's another really important thing for someone who wants to do co-sponsorship. In this scenario, you can select John to be your sponsor. And let's say John was the one who really brought you and kind of trained you on this. Let's name the sponsee Bob. Okay. Let's say Bob comes to us and says, I got to choose between John and Deborah. And I'm going to say, why don't we have both? So John becomes the sponsor since he's the one who kind of told you about the program. And then, but you want the things that Deborah brings to the table. Deborah becomes the co-sponsor. So here's the fun part. John gets all the benefits of being the sponsor, which includes the rev share, and he also gets the FLQA. In addition to that, he also gets all the stock grant. Remember, every time you bring someone to the table, you have stock grant because the sponsor always gets the stock grant. In this scenario, the co-sponsor, Deborah, she gets the benefit for having Bob under her in her rev share organization. So Deborah also gets the rev share. But because Bob is on her level 1, she gets to participate in the fast start rev share bonus, which the fast start rev share bonus, they've now added again, another thing. You get an additional 50% for that first year. That will go to Deborah since he's on her level 1. The part that makes it a little bit different and interesting is if Bob adds people below him and adds people to his family tree, then any rev share generated from, like, let's say Steve underneath him, it's going to flow up to John and all the way into John's organization. That's not the case with Deborah. Deborah will get the benefit of rev share and Bob and anyone that's below Bob, but the rev share flows up into that organization. So that way we basically have the same rev share dollars distributed. So Deborah wins, John wins, and from every category, everyone wins. So the only caveat is that Bob can't name Deborah and John with the same family tree because then you'd be double dipping. So John would be getting paid on the rev share from Deborah and from Bob, and that won't work. All right. Well, hopefully this makes sense. If you have more questions, comment below and we'll help you.